So a few weeks back, I heard about this fragrance that is kind of a clone. I'm not sure what it's cloning, but I hopefully will find that out when I get into it here. But I was really excited, but also cautiously excited about trying it out because I know the line itself is supposed to be centered around the note of rose, which is not a favorite of mine, and my wife is semi-allergic to it. But because it's a clone, I'm guessing they use synthetics, which would be a good thing because then it wouldn't be the real rose oil she's allergic to. Anyway, so today we're going to be doing a first impression of one I've been really looking forward to. This one is by Lattafa. It is Bade'e Al Oud SUBLIME. So without further ado, let's get it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. You guys might not know, my name is Randy, aka FragranceDoud, back with another fragrance video. Make sure to slap the like and subscribe button, put me on the algorithm so we can get right into this, I guess, clone. I don't know if it's one of those clones with a twist. I honestly have no idea what this is supposed to be about outside of somebody saying it smelled like fruit punch and rose. With that said, I'm going to get straight into it. Again, if it is rose, I'm going to have my wife smell it. She's very slightly allergic to rose, but knowing Lattafa, it's not going to be real rose oil or the damask rose that she's allergic to. So I'll just put a little drop on her skin. She will find out. It's nothing bad, just an FYI. But I'll get her opinion once we get into the dry down. But we're doing my first impressions of, and forgive me for not being able to pronounce it right, but Bade'e Al Oud SUBLIME by Lattafa. Bottle looks like an initio, obviously. It feels hefty in your hand. The cap feels nice. It's still, you can tell there's a little bit of cheapness to it. There's some marks around the side. The atomizer. The atomizer is actually really painted up. If you can tell, it's like painted up. I don't know, but honestly, I'm not worried about it. It was a clone. It was like $32 on Triple Traders. With that said, I'm going to... It's stuck. There, okay, there we go. It sprays nicely. See? Really nicely sprayed. Oh, that smells good. Yep. I like. Oh, good. So I was very skeptical about this because I know the line is supposed to be rose heavy. And I heard some people say it doesn't smell very much like rose, and some people say it smells a lot like rose. I'm not getting a lot of rose right now. I'm getting a lot of apple mixed with like a red gusher. It smells like a red gusher mixed with apple. You know what? So there's a fragrance I reviewed on my live stream a few weeks back by the House of Kayali, and it was pistachio gelato. Well, I was at Sephora and I took a video and I showed you guys all the different Kayalis that they had. And they have one that is called apple, maybe Kayali apple, Kayali Eden apple, Garden of Eden. I don't remember the name, but it just smelled like a straight up synthetic juicy apple. And it's kind of like what you get here. It's a mix of like synthetics, which not bad, but it's a clone. But with that said, it's a mix of like a synthetic apple and this like red gusher. Like a fruit punchy red gusher. Oh yeah, that's nice. There is a little tiny bit of rose underneath it, but for the most part, this is a unisex, fruity, synthetic style fragrance. It's very nice for what it's doing. Yeah, I quite enjoy this. It seems like there might be a little bit of like some other kind of fruitiness underneath it. Again, it's almost like a tropical fruitiness. More along the lines of like a red gusher, like I said, like a tropical red gusher. Yeah, this is nice. Situational, but nice. Has a little bit of freshness in it from that floral rose underneath it, but I don't really like florals that much. I don't really like rose that much. You can't really tell that there's that much rose in this. If anything, it's not too floral. It's just adding to the blend. And then there's a little bit of like a creaminess underneath it. It's nice. This is really nice. Bade'e Al Oud SUBLIME. This is, for all the clones I've tried this year, which aren't many this year, this is one that I think would be top in the list of the clones for sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait about 15 to 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer, debating on how much it changes. Let you guys know what I get from the dry down, and then again, I'll be back in about a half hour. Alright, my dudes, welcome back. So again, we are doing the dry down of this fragrance. We are at about 35 minutes. I decided to wait a little bit and walk around because I was enjoying the fragrance. I had my wife try it. It is not real damask rose oil or real rose oil. It didn't affect her skin at all. She really likes it. Her and my daughter both said it smelled like a red gusher, red Jolly Rancher style fragrance. And my wife agrees it does smell like Kayali apple. Which is, we don't know the name. It's like Eden apple or something. But if you guys don't know, I shared that on my live a few weeks back. But anyway, as this fragrance, again, we're talking about Lattafa's Bade'e Al Oud SUBLIME. Forgive me for the translation. I don't know how to say it, but as it starts to dry down. So again, that opening is that red gusher mixed together with some apple and undertoning vanillic sweetness, some fruitiness that kind of gives off a tropical vibe, which I don't know what it is. I'll figure that out when I get to my full review in a few weeks. But as it dries down, as that Kayali apple starts to dissipate, you get this almost Draco Espoy slash BR540 style vibe, which is kind of like almost this saffron, amber woody, vanillic sweetness that you would get from those style of fragrances, almost like that cotton candy sweet vanilla vibe. That's kind of what you get mixed together with that Kayali apple slash red gusher. As you get to the dry down, I don't know how it's going to change on my skin as we get there, but I was not expecting that. So again, the opening is very juicy, very fruity, synthetic, but that's not really that bad. We're talking about a clone, for God's sakes. Sometimes synthetics are not a bad word, and this time it is not. And then again, you need to like apple, you need to like unisex fragrances for this, and you need to like BR540, because it really is just a mixture of all of that. One thing that I did notice in the mid, it's gone now, but I never heard anybody talk about this in their lives or anything when they were talking about this. My favorite fragrance note is plum, and while there is a synthetic plum in this, I didn't hear anybody say it. It's in the mid. It comes in for about 10 minutes. I actually quite like it. It almost at a point smells like BR540 with plum and apple, and I kind of really like the fragrance. I think that this fragrance, as far as a clone is concerned, at this point in time is probably my favorite clone of the year. Again, this is more of a twist on specific fragrances. I don't know if they were planning on cloning Kayali's Red Apple, if this was supposed to be something brand new from them. But again, it is a mix. It's not exactly Kayali's Red Apple. It's not exactly BR540. It is just overall a nice red gusher and apple with a vanillic undertone, and then as you get to the dry down, you have that ambery sweetness, that fruitiness is laying there, and then you get almost that cotton candy style vanillic sweetness that you would get from Espoy. The reason I say Espoy is because Espoy has a little bit of this freshness to it that the BR540 doesn't have. And so if I had to compare it to something closer in the dry down, it would be Espoy, because there is a freshness to this. So as far as wears, this is a situational fragrance, kind of like in the realm of Coca Loco, where it's like you can't wear it everywhere. You wouldn't wear a red gusher to work, so I wouldn't wear it in that type of situation. This is going to be more for your playful style situations, maybe going to the pool, going to the park, just going out to a barbecue or something like that. And for the season, I would say this is more for transitional seasons. I wouldn't wear it in the high heat. I think it would be a bit cloying. But I mean, I haven't tested it out, so I don't know. Wear what you like, but I would say transitional seasons, probably 30 to 60 to 70 degrees would be definitely a good time for this. It's synthetic through and through, but it's still a really good smelling fragrance. You have to, again, like apple, red gushers, like tropical fruitiness. You need to like unisex style fragrances. Lattafa really did a good mixture here. But yeah, I really like it. I'm really excited to explore further into the dry down. But that is Bade'e Al Oud SUBLIME. Again, I don't have any performance. I'll give it to you in the full review, as well as a more detailed explanation of the rest of the fragrance. I want to see if it gets more into that BR540/S-Boy DNA, or if it's going to go a different direction, because sometimes fragrances that switch from one style of fragrance to another after about a half hour sometimes can do it again. So I'm really excited to try that out. Thank you for those who recommended this. Definitely be putting wares on that, as will my wife. But thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Look out for the full review in a few weeks, and I'll be back with another one. Thanks so much. Peace out.